They gave Karen a movie. They gave her a movie. They gave Karen a fucking movie. What a way to normalize Karen's stupidity. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Karen. Now this movie is from 2021. It's available on Amazon Prime and it stars Taryn Manning. Before I get into all the feels I had while watching this film and why I feel like it just shouldn't exist, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things. What the fuck? Like we didn't need Karen. We didn't need Karen. Who asked for Karen? Nobody. Hopefully subscribe to see more of me. Let's get into this movie. Now before we jump into that movie, I just want to spend a second on Karen's. I am not someone who sees the endless streams of those Karen videos and just look at them as something to laugh at. Now this horror film clearly was not meant to be met with laughter, but this is a fucking comedy. It's practically a parody. Anyway, it's just not something that I take lightly or laugh at, because I feel like we're giving the situation power. We're giving the Karen power as to say, oh, this is something to laugh at. This is something not to take as serious, because it's just a Karen being a Karen. It's just a woman who 9 times out of 10 is not a black woman calling out a person of color, a black person, and using their white or whatever privilege to have something happen to this person, to call the police, to, make something out of nothing, to make a small situation turn into a big escalation that often leads to, someone being assaulted, arrested, a life being taken, all because Karen used her white privilege and made a phone call, and we cried white tears, and somebody came running. This goes all the way back, as far back as the Emmett Till situation, the Boston Massacre situation. Like, so much stems from, excuse my French, a white woman calling wolf, and it's just been so much death surrounding that. So to dial it back all the way to today and just call it a Karen situation, and it just be a meme, something on the news, something to discuss, and then it just surpasses. Or we have, a woman that's just so enraged and in tears and crying and just so me, and are you gonna do something? Or it's just looked at as something funny. This is not anything funny. It's not anything to make a movie about. And this movie had me fucked up. Let's talk about it. Now, immediately when the movie starts, we have absolutely no subtlety. We're not trying to disguise nothing here. This movie is about Karen. And just so you know that, we're going to have her wash off a chalk-written Black Lives Matter as soon as the movie comes on. Now, we have Taryn Manning here, a.k.a. I'm in charge. I'm in charge, D. I'm in charge. We can't just sit around licking our asses all day. Mankind, her ass. Miss Orange is the New Black. She is here and she is playing our Karen with this horrible fucking wig on. But we waste no time, You know, this isn't some outstanding project. This is actually, you know, really harshly written and poorly executed, honey. And Karen is mad. It was a very them situation. I guess, like that we're made to know, you know, all black family moving into a predominantly white neighborhood holds the same weight in, you know, the 40s and 50s as it does today. Like, Karen is heated, Karen is uncomfortable. We spent a whole lot of time on her doing Karen shit, like, you know, practicing that privilege of, you know, hey, if you guys don't quiet down, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and I'm gonna speak to the manager, because, you know, we love a good Karen meme, and Karens love to call managers. I need to speak to the manager. I need them thrown out. They're hurting my ears with their loud black voices. Like, we are very on the nose with Karen's agenda and letting us know Karen don't like black people. Now, we also get into our black family, and, you know, we get stuff like, baby, I love you. You are a strong, beautiful, woke black man. I was like, never mind, I'm not gonna say who wrote this, because I know who wrote this, and I'm not even gonna get into him because you did this. But after we, you know, get tropes like that, and, you know, making sure, you know, oh, they have African spears and swords on the wall. Oh, they black. Okay, all right. But after that, we have endless moments with Karen, you know, inquiring in questions and setups, you know, for her to display her racism. And it's just like so on the nose, like, y'all cute or whatever, but for the most part, a Karen, the Karens that we see every day, all day, they go out of their way to make you think, you know, you get those, well, I'm not a racist or anything. I just feel like, but, you know, they want you to know firsthand, I'm not a racist. So all the slurs and the derogatory things, they're kind of do their best to kind of keep that at bay and just try to make it appear to seem like, you know, oh, I'm in fear for my safety and the people around me. Are you from around here? What's going on? He looks questionable. There's a man here. Oh, Lord, send the union. You know, we have that shit there. Here, our Karen, she has, you know, something racist to say every 5 minutes, some type of agenda. And for the most part, we do, you know, make Karen that Karen and make her tasteless. And it gets, you know, very Lakeview Terrace, if you guys can remember that film with Samuel L. Jackson. And, you know, he's the cop and he has the 2 kids, and there, you know, he's watching in the cameras and he's really fucking extra. Karen was giving me a lot of that here. But with the way that Karen acts, it kind of disjoints the way that we see the black family counteract. They give Karen way too much fucking play. It was just like, where these black people at? Because anybody else, like, first of all, bitch, you can get all the way, you can get all the way from around here with that. Like, what are you doing? But no, we have them, you know, continue to socialize with her, you know, try to befriend her and invite her to party. And it's just all so like, what? Where they do that at? We even have, you know, the husband here who Karen is clearly attracted to, because, you know, I love a strong black man type shit. Oh, I'm a Karen. And of course, Karen's whole hidden agenda is, you know, black peens. So why wouldn't we put that there? But, you know, he's, you know, entertaining her and going into her house. When we have that moment where, you know, she's inquired about their background and, you know, how could you guys ever afford a house like this? And, oh, my wife's a blogger and I, you know, work for this nonprofit ass type of shit. And we just have this, just like, wow, why are you even talking to this woman? Not only do you talk to her and entertain her, but you put antifreeze in her car. And instead of going in your goddamn house to wash your hands, you know, your house that was right there, you go in her house to wash her hands. And since everything here with the writing is so on the nose, we not only have Karen, you know, be super racist all the time, but she has a whole Confederate flag soap dispenser in her bathroom and Confederate soldiers on the wall. We also have, you know, the family really have this revelation of, you know, what we thought is true. She is watching her. I love how we just had Karen watching all sinister and all this Puff the Magic Dragon smoke just kept looming from underneath her. And it was just like, what? So stupid. But we have all that going on. And instead of, you know, really having this family, you know, take action and be progressive, it's just like, oh, she's watching us? I got some for that ass. I'm going to get cameras too. because we do that. So now, after we have, a lot of Karen doing Karen shit, like, oh, get away from that window, son. What are you looking at? Oh, they about to get their freak on. Oh, I'm getting hot. Ooh, like, it's fucking terrible. We have, other dumbass tropes. Like, since we're black, of course, this black husband is going to smoke weed in his driveway, listening to the hip, fuck it up, nigga, fuck the hell, Mary. Like, because, that's what we do. We have a lot of moments with Karen and the Homeowners Association and her going, oh, these black people are living on our street. Sooner or later, because this is Karen's whole motivation in the film, we can have these black people infiltrate our neighborhood. All it takes is one. And then all of a sudden there's crime and, black babies and prostitution and pimps. Somebody wrote this on paper. So after we've had Karen show all of her racism all up front to this little, black family, and we've had, the Confederate situation in the bathroom, all the little racial undertone shit, she's watching their every move with the cameras. What do as a black family? We invite her over to our housewarming, because that's the type of shit that we do. With this movie trying to give off, the black family as, non-confrontational, they're, just trying to move in and live their best life, be a blogger and, eventually have a baby and all of this, upward mobility. For the most part, we kind of make them look like they don't have any sense, because it's just like, if Karen is showing you who she is, why would you go out of your way to, be around her, bring her a pie, do this and do that? Like, why are you why are you putting antifreeze in Karen's car? No. But anyway, we get into this housewarming party. When I tell you the kente call was overflowing, it was very kente. Because, we was black and we was having a black party and we had to be real. I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black of the black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm bigly black, black of the black, black, the black of the black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. We got real CB4 at this party for them to ensure that we knew that this was a black family. Because his name is Malik and her name is Iman, and they wear kente cloth. And they got black stuff in their house and black flares with African earrings and African aesthetic everywhere. And we have Karen come in with a fucking fruitcake. I see you slaving away in that kitchen. Karen came in there like, hey, maid, I see you got on your maid outfit like you always do. She came in there with the Jocelyn shit. And we entertained Karen to no end, to the point that she's able to sit on her couch in front of our friends and say shit like, go back to Africa and stop talking about slavery. What? Where? Where is anybody, any Karen in a space to do this? Like, we get into, shit like, Black Lives Matter. They pulled sweet Rennie into this, the little Instagram personality. I love me some Rennie. Pulled Rennie into this, all lives matter, all the oppression of the black, like. But after we leave shit, like trying to create imaginary friction within this marriage, courtesy of Cameron, and why we're trying to have a baby, we don't have the money, this is unstable, look at this neighborhood. You guys moved into this neighborhood. Anytime you move into an all-white anything, there's always a chance that shit like this could happen. And you could be, an unwanted entity. So all of that little aggression that the girlfriend had, or the wife had, as to say, like, oh, this... What you thought you was going? It don't even matter, because I ain't write this. But we have continuous shit like Karen continuing to pop up on Malik out of nowhere and apologize and ask him if he want to come up for some coffee and shit like that. We even go as far just to have Karen's random ass 2 kids there, because Karen has 2 kids. They play absolutely no role here other than to get Malik some charisma. So, he's not a bad guy. He works with at-risk children, and he's playing basketball like black brothers do with, the white kid's neighbor. We even have the little girl come over and say, I'm in 3rd grade and I have a black boyfriend and his name is Kobe, like Kobe Bryant. You're not going to tell my mom, right, though, because she don't like black people. But real black, yeah, she don't like you either. Because we didn't know that Karen didn't like us because we were black. Based on all the shit that she said at our housewarming party. You dumb. You dumb. Wasn't enough. We had to get that infamous Karen phone call. And I love, that they put that in there because for the most part, she did react like a Karen. Hello. Oh, yes, there are black people being black in my white neighborhood and they're not showing ID. They could never afford to live somewhere like this. What do you mean you're from the area? You have to, can you please send someone? I'm in fear for my life. Somebody please come. They're going to hurt me. We did that whole, Miss Sophia, Miss Sophia. Those black men tried to attack me. I've always been nice to you collards. We got a little color purple moment, We got, some of that. We take that moment to enforce, some more of that Black Lives Matter because we get that, do you know who my dad is? And when you figure out and he happens to be, a senator or a congressman or something or the other, and this whole dramatic moment of, the recording. And with everything that Karen had done up until that point, that was the situation that, broke the camel's back for the black wife to go, I think I want to live somewhere with a little bit more diversity. Sis, you should have lived somewhere with some more diversity in the first place. But I'm not going to knock that because that does speak on black people equating living in, predominantly white areas to being safer because majority of the time they are safer. And we do have those criminal tasteless elements in the lower parts of, black communities on purpose. But often there are, other communities, upward places that are solely occupied by a more diverse group of people, black people, your own. You might want to go over there before you just jump ship and go to the Karens. And then we get into more hilarious shit from Karen. This should have been a parody, like, this shouldn't even exist. But we have, Karen and the whole civil rights activist dad, and it's not being a good look for the home. Like everybody's just an asshole at this point. Like, y'all knew Karen was fucking unfit when y'all didn't vote to, get the blackies out immediately. But now that, it's a bad reflection on the community as a whole. Yeah, Karen, we're gonna need you to step down as president. Like, how the fuck was Karen ever president? She's been racist from jump, clearly. But, Karen's like, oh, you haven't heard the last of Karen. I'm gonna write a letter, dear Mr. Hampton. Like, it was a whole thing, and Karen just bust out like, oh, you haven't heard the last from me? Like, what is going on here? It's just done. Not only is she on the news and no longer the president of the Homeowners Association, but now this black family is still here. And the crack babies are a-coming. We got to get them out. So what do? We call our racist police officer of a brother who makes it very clear that he's a part of the brotherhood. There's so much talk of the brotherhood. Oh, you fucking with the brotherhood? And it's just put the white sheet on his head. Like, if y'all were going to go that far as to mention the brotherhood and I'm a part of the brotherhood. You don't want none of this. You could lose your job. I'll come and kill you in your sleep. Because I'm down with the clique. We have the brother plant weed on the neighbor who was already just open and willing to show Karen that he was smoking weed and he could smoke it up the block. And we have him plant weed on, him and that whole racist. I love how we have the other cop there who's just like, oh, this is questionable. Did he really just plant weed on this man? Is he really, a racist cop? Maybe I shouldn't, be a part of this. Maybe I should do something. But I'm not. But we had a black husband in jail and we have, the wife at home. Now, with everything that Karen has done, everything that she's done, we come out and see Karen sitting on the hood of our car talking about, how the crack epidemic affected her family and why she wants them out of the neighborhood so bad. And, we still meet Karen with respect because we're respectable Black people and we wear kente cloth, and we would never stoop to Karen's level and, handle this. We just tell Karen, you better get off of my car and we're not going anywhere. Sorry for you, Karen. Good day. But no, we're proper. We go get a lawyer. Not only are we not moving, we're getting a lawyer. Okay. We go to the same lawyer, with the same son. He ain't did too much for his own son in this neighborhood. But they, they go and talk to him, and, they all get all the ducks in the row and collect the dots that, not only is Karen a Karen, but she's from a long line of, racist activity. And she's, just feeling vengeful in some type of way towards Black people because a Black murderous vigilante, sniper, whatever the fuck, killed her husband. And she's just, that's, because we have to give a reason for why Karen is the way that she is, when clearly she's been this way since birth and she was brought up this way. I mean, look at her brother. But anyway, we have all of that go on, and she's just like, oh, Karen's always on the phone. They went to see a lawyer. We got to do something about this. You know what we got to do, right? What you got to do, Karen? We have to set it up to not only have the husband arrested yet again, but have Karen come in with a gun. Not only does Karen approach the wife with a gun, but the wife just stands there. What are you doing? You don't have to do this. We can talk about this. We can work this out. Karen, no. Are you going to shoot me now or later? Like, what is going on? What was the message supposed to be with this Black family? I know what it was. I just don't care. But we have her come in and attack Karen and turn into this whole nightmare. She's coming in and attacking and going, and we have, the racist brother on the way with the cop that we already had acknowledged, you're racist and I don't want any part of this. And after he says, I'll have the brotherhood fuck you up, that's just all thrown by the wayside, even though we have the same cop in the news and all this racist behavior and all this long tracking of, questionable police work. He's, on the force and eating pizza until he goes to, help his baby sister. At which we have this shaky cam fight between her and the wife. And yeah, bitch, you ain't nothing without that gun. It was giving me Beyonce and Obsessed. But that's another video for another day. Anyway, we have, this whole tussle take place, and we even have the wife get shot. We have her get shot, and you have that same police officer run up. What's going on here? Yeah, we're going to shoot her, and we're going to say, she went for the gun, and they setting up their whole thing, at which, the cop has a revelation that, oh, these are racist bad people. These are the bad kind of white people. I'm going to shoot you in the head. And he shoots him. And we have, Karen with her lash, why can't you just listen to what my brother said and I'm going to shoot? And Karen gets shot by the Black wife. It's all a crock of shit, if you ask me. Everything was just a hot fucking mess. And to top it off, not only do we end up, all of these empowerment, did y'all peep all the empowering songs that we had going through the movie, oh, we in chains, how we getting change gonna come, oh, we woke in the chains. Okay, yeah, we had a lot of that shit popping off, and we end off with this trumpet change gonna come rendition with this Black Lives Matter stance, and this big speech being given, and then standing there in the news and saying, pretty much, we're not going to take it anymore, all of this injustice, to the sounds of the trumpet. Whose idea was that? We end, with not only this Black family not moving, but them being accepting and them renaming this housing community. And the wife being the new president of the homeowners association, because you know change is going to come. Soon as we got Karen's racist ass out of here, everything was okay, because you know she was the only racist person in this whole community. But yeah, you know, after that, they finally, you know, get pregnant, and we end off with the 2000s Apple. Y'all remember those Apple iPad advertisement where people were dancing and it was shadows and they had the headphones in? We end off with some of that shit because that went there. Well, you guys, that was my review for Karen. Not much to say about this shit show of a film. Why? What was the reason? I don't know. There is a need to, you know, call out, you know, the racism of today on many platforms, especially, you know, through film. And this particular film tried to do that. Did they execute it well? No. Should it have been ever surrounding Karen? No. So she's a Karen? And her name is Karen? What, Karen? Karen. Drop down and tell me what you guys thought about this film and what you think about my review. I look forward to reading those comments. Oh, we're going to be reading them goddamn comments. I see you guys next time.